sitting with you live from Yonkers Voice, Yonkers Mayor hopeful Frank
Sportano.
Where are we going?
Okay. If he let, I have a lot of ideas, but the main thing is good. I want to do good. I'm not going to make promises. I'm going to do good. My main intention is to turn the city around. I want to turn the city around to an engine of progress. I want promise prosperity, an engine of progress. If we can do something good for the people of Yonkers, if we can set an example, because nowadays the politicians, I don't consider myself to be a politician, but the politicians no longer work for the people. It's like the people work for the politicians, and our taxes are high. The $55 million was lost in the school budget. The firemen, our bravest firemen, our strongest teamsters in over 5 or 6 years hasn't received a raise. Listen, I know the city is in financial trouble, but giving a raise to one entity, just to the police department, if I was the mayor, if there was $1,000 in the budget, I would have split that raise up between the Teamsters, the firefighters, and the police department. And giving the raise only to the police department is unfair. Furthermore, another big issue that this town is not talking about is the senior citizens. Senior citizens is what built this country. They are the forgetting people. And what I would like to do for the senior citizens, if I can do it, if it's legal, the $151,000 salary that I am supposed to get as a mayoral salary, I will donate $50,000 back to the senior citizens, to all the senior citizens who is having trouble paying either their property taxes or their condo taxes or even their rents. The other $50,000 I would like to donate to families where their families, they can't afford to buy computers, little laptops, a little iPad, something where they can have something towards their education. And the main thing, our books in Yonkers, our up-to-date literature is so far behind that back in the 1990s, we need up-to-date literature. We need to outreach Albany. We don't need to have a mayor that's giving out plaques, cutting ribbons. He needs to be going out there enticing the best economic developers, the best economic minds, the best economic institutions, bring them into Yonkers to entice the people of Yonkers, to give them hope, to give them a reason, to give them a future. This is what this campaign is all about. Second of all, I am not looking for the campaign bosses even though I am a Democrat, I will not get the support of the Democratic bosses or the power brokers. This is about the people, okay? I will seek the Republican line, I will seek the independence line, and I will seek the conservative line, because I know for sure I will not get any support from the Democratic line, because evidently Mayor Spano is the chairman of Yonkers of the Democratic committee. So, and therefore, my campaign is about the people, whether it's downtown Yonkers, whether it's uptown, north, south, where it's in affluent area. We need to address poverty. Listen, the mayor said, and I just recently quoted this in Yonkers Rising. The mayor said, and he gave it a AAA rating. Unemployment is down. Yeah, unemployment is down when you're after the 52 weeks or 92 or the 99 weeks. But poverty isn't addressed. They don't tell you that this District 1, it's a 39% poverty rate.
So let me ask you a question, Frank. Speaking of poverty and handling the issues of poverty, right now a big issue is the minimum wage. How do you feel about increasing the minimum wage? Do you think that that's the appropriate way?
You can't live. I'm for good paying jobs. Good paying jobs. Increasing the minimum wage. Let's say we increase the minimum wage to $10 an hour. Let's say we increase the minimum wage to $10 an hour. $10 an hour is still on the poverty line. $15 an hour. We need real industry. We need true industry. We need construction jobs. We need green energy jobs. Listen, even if you go by what the president says, 10 an hour, or even if you go by $15 an hour, $15 an hour on a family of four, that's the poverty line. You're still going to get help from the entitlement program, whether it's welfare, I call it the generosity line. So what do we gain? You're bringing in these companies into Yonkers. Yes, they are giving out jobs, but it's still costing those that of us work, the taxpayers, money because they still receive entitlements. We need to take the people out of the entitlement. We need to take them out of public housing, and we need to bring jobs back to Yonkers. And if Yonkers can lead the way and revamp the free trade laws and set an example across America, America will change. When Mayor Spano ran for Yonkers back in 2011, I believe the debt of Yonkers was $351 million. Today is $377 million.
So how do you stop the bleeding? Where do we cut? Where do we cut spending, or how do we create economical growth?
We have to create economic growth for someone like myself who reaches out to industrialized people who are into development. For example, the IDA. Here's a big issue. The IDA is the Industrial Development Agency. It's a Yonkers program. They just built a couple hotels and they use workers from Massachusetts. If that's the IDA, aren't we supposed to employ people from Yonkers? It's okay, the product will come from Massachusetts, but when you bring them in from Massachusetts and Yonkers sets them up in hotels, so isn't it better that we buy the product here in Yonkers? So what money did you really save? For example, there were buildings built under the, I forget the name of the hotel, but a large hotel was just recently built. The contractor came from Yonkers. They brought in Yonkers workers, Massachusetts workers. And what they did, as long as they put a few teams to workers, they said it was okay. Listen, the person who's in charge of the Industrial Development Agency, that he is supposed to hire individuals from Yonkers, whether it's downtown Yonkers, whether it's the north of Yonkers, whether it's the south of Yonkers. You can't hire, if it's an industrial development agency that's giving you tax incentives, then those tax incentives should be brought upon to the people in Yonkers, not to the people outside of Yonkers.
What do you suppose the benefit of bringing people in from Massachusetts was? Was there a hidden agenda there? Was there a way to say, were there tax shelters involved with that? Is that a way of putting it in the 456's, face, or?
It's a scam. It's tax shelters. Listen, we brought these people in from Massachusetts. They did a lot of home renovation cabinets, and these people and the city of Yonkers put them up in hotels, paying for hotels. Wouldn't it have been better that if we would have an IDA? We're not supposed to be looking for jobs, contractors outside of Yonkers, at least within New York State, within a 60-mile radius, where they can travel every day to the city of Yonkers, do their work, or hire people in Yonkers, people from Yonkers. If Yonkers is giving tax incentives to the residents, to the taxpayers of Yonkers, then people of Yonkers should be employed. Not people outside Timbuktu, Massachusetts, or somebody from Jersey.
What you're saying, Frank, in short, is bring the jobs back to Yonkers.
Correct.
Correct the deficit of 370 million.
The last time I read it was 371 or 371 $1 million debt. It's not a deficit. Deficit means that if we're collecting $1 billion in tax revenue, but we spend $1.1 million, that's the deficit. So we need to bring down the deficit. So by doing that,
I'm Roberto Peru, reporting to you from Yonkers with Frank Sportano, Mayor Hopeful. Now back to you.